Woodward Sports, let's go!
Woodward Sports Network, let's go!
It was a shocker.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show. It is Tuesday, and it has been chaos in the studio this morning, so I anticipate today's show being very similar to that.
Art just came in here today with a mood, man.
Yeah, Art has been a little diva all morning long, and that's okay. We love you for that.
What are you talking about?
We're just joking with you, man. The diva this morning has been Corey, getting fruit platters served to him 5 minutes before the show.
I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry.
That's great.
Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show. My name is Stick, to my right.
What's going on, it's Corey.
And to my left.
And it is Joey. Good morning.
And over there in producer land is Art, and of course Adam has your back today.
He's always watching over me like, Art, you need to make sure you're doing your job correctly. It's like, I'm doing it correctly, bro. You're behind me. I don't fucking talk about it.
Yeah, the Indian accent from The Simpsons.
Just bust out a poo for no reason.
Literally. Literally. Next thing you know, he's shopping at the Quickie Mart.
We got Fish in the building today. Lots of stuff going on. Fish facts coming up. We're going to talk and rank the players that are in the Super Bowl today. We're also going to talk about, obviously, the Stafford trade because more things are coming out about that are fun to talk about, and it's the biggest news in Detroit football history in the past 15 years. So we're going to talk more about that. And a former Patriot kind of taking a shot at the Patriots.
I love it.
I love how both of you love it.
Love this.
But first, let's get to Joey's news.
So to kick it off, the Detroit Pistons, I was so excited to watch them yesterday, and then all of a sudden, Corey sends the text like 5 minutes before game time saying that the game is postponed, and I'm like, oh, man, what's going down here? So
He just gave you all that cred, didn't he? Who sent you the text?
Oh, no, my bad. No, so you did too.
Because I texted Corey.
No, you did too, but before you texted me, it was Anthony from Pistons Talk.
Oh, okay, all right.
Anthony from Pistons Talk, and then Stick a few minutes later. Sorry, you didn't break that news.
No, I'm not going to take nobody's credit.
But the NBA, they released a message saying that the game has been postponed in accordance to the league's health and safety protocols because of ongoing contact tracing with the Pistons. So the team didn't have the whole league required 8-player minimum. And I don't know what's going to happen because we got the Jazz tonight at 10 p.m. And there's no word on delaying this game yet. So we will see what comes out from this one.
Yeah, that game's not happening.
You don't think so?
No.
Woj. Yeah, Woj.
Woj just talking about they're still traveling and expecting to play. So I don't know how that happens, though. They're probably going to be a late game scratch.
Yeah, when I was watching the game last night, I mean, George Blaha was just like bewildered, like all of them, because they stopped the game like 2 minutes before tip-off.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was like immediately before tip-off, and Blaha and Kelser are like, well, we don't know what to do. They said postpone, so we could still play tonight. They didn't say canceled, and then they were like, well, tomorrow, what are they going to do? Because the Pistons didn't have 8 eligible players to play the game last night. So hopefully they clear through contact tracing, but you never know.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, we'll update you throughout the day because the game is, once again, tonight. It's a late game, too. They got the 10 p.m. game. But other news in the NBA, fans kicked out from the Hawks arena after a verbal altercation with LeBron in the fourth quarter. And I'm going to have more on this story throughout the show. But this one hits me 2 times because this is the game where you guys know I'm the biggest LeBron fan. I bet against LeBron yesterday on my bookie, and I was about to win big. I picked Duke losing. I picked the Hornets in that overtime upset. So I'm pissed about this one. But we'll talk more about that. The Major League Baseball Players Association, they wanted to push the start of the season back by about a month, guys.
Yeah, here we go again.
Here we go again, but they're planning on starting the season on time, so we will see. Currently, the camps are scheduled to open on February 17th, so just 2 weeks away, and opening day is scheduled for April 1st. So we will see because last year, opening day being canceled like that, it messed me up.
Dude, opening day, as you know, if you're a Detroit sports fan, it is a holiday around here,
yeah.
And the fact that St. Patrick's Day has been taken away 2 years in a row now and that we may miss another opening day. Obviously, health is the main concern. We're not trying to say opening day is prioritized over anybody's life. But at the same time, I miss that party. I miss stumbling around Detroit with a backpack full of beer, in and out of parties.
You really did used to have that backpack.
I literally bought this hoodie on opening day.
Nice.
Detroit versus everybody had a little stand, so they were selling stuff, and I got this in my drunken stupor walking around.
You get drunk on opening day?
Who doesn't?
Exactly.
I want to see Corey wasted.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I really do.
Okay.
I feel like it
Just
would be
careful.
so fun.
Be careful. Just be careful.
Yeah, opening day parties are the absolute best, so I can't wait. Hopefully they get those going back this year. Obviously, they'll probably be in some limited capacity, but who knows? I mean, they're usually outdoors in tents, and they've been a lot more lenient with outdoor tent things than indoor things, so we may get a decent opening day this year.
Hopefully. And on to the NFL. The San Francisco 49ers are out there trying to get Kirk Cousins as their new quarterback. Isn't he one of the richest? Well, he's like on top of the list of.
Yeah, he's in the top 10 Forbes list. But yeah, San Francisco offered I believe 2 second rounds and a third for him. And what did the Vikings respond with? We want a first. So yeah, that's what they're thinking they could get for Kirk Cousins. So if anybody's thinking that this Goff deal is bad, look at what Kirk Cousins.
Oh my God, Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, to the 49ers.
Forbes
I
richest
don't
man.
think that does anything for them, to be quite honest.
I guess they're just done with Garoppolo for some reason, and the place you could get value for Garoppolo, this, is New England. Ship his ass to New England.
Oh yeah, they take back all their hand-me-downs.
Yeah, well, and he was supposed to be the next one after Tom Brady left, and Tom Brady was never going to leave.
Nah, I don't think that bill can repair him.
Yeah.
We'll see. The last story that I got for you guys, Super Bowl. You guys ready? You guys got any parties going on this Sunday?
Maybe.
So the CDC has come out.
Uh-oh.
They warn against shouting. This is a quote unquote. They warn against shouting, cheering loudly, or singing if you venture out to a gathering with members outside your household. So here's what they're recommending, guys.
There goes my Super Bowl karaoke party. Thank you very much.
Here's what they're recommending, though. You could clap, stop your feet, or bring handheld noisemakers instead, they recommend.
Vuvuzelas for everybody.
And also, no buffets, you guys. You got to bring your own food, drinks, platters, cups, utensils, and condiment packets, guys. It's a CDC Super Bowl.
So everybody go into the packet drawer that you got in your kitchen, because
Yep,
everybody
all
got
the
a
stuff
packet
you stole
drawer.
from the drive-thru.
Yep, you pull that drawer out and you take it to your Super Bowl party. That's the new rules from the CDC. And don't cheer, don't speak loudly. That's
Yes.
so funny.
Yes.
I can't wait for someone to get a ticket for cheering or singing during a game.
A little bit too loud.
A little bit too loud, right?
Well, there's your Woodward Sports Update. And before we get the show started, I wanted to really give you a quick shout out. And Valentine's Day is coming up, and there's a spot out in downtown Fenton that I love so much. I wanted to shout out Kevin and everybody over at Bridge Street Exchange, downtown Fenton once again. They got this awesome build-your-own little gift box that you could do. So, ladies, if you're thinking about what to get for Valentine's Day for your man, just go there and check them out. They got a whole bunch of Carhartt gear. They got a whole bunch of Thorogood boots. They got all of the gear there. It's literally a one-stop shop for men, and I love it there, and that's going to be my new spot where I shop. Once again, it is the Bridge Street Exchange in downtown Fenton.
Nice, man. And you went out there the other day, too.
Yeah, I was out there. I was shopping. I got my first Stormy Cromer hat. You guys know about those Stormy Cromers?
I do not.
It's like, to me, it's like a Dumb and Dumber style kind of hat.
Oh, yeah, I saw the Elmer Fudd hat.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
the Elmer Fudd joint. With
Yeah,
the
you guys
red
were all ripping on me saying I can't pull it off.
All right. Yeah, you can't, but that's all right. Some people can.
I told Kevin, I said, Kevin, you got to make me like more like manly man, like
So
a
he
manly
gives you
kind of
the
guy.
Elmer Fudd hat?
So he gave me that, and he was trying to get me on these Thorogood boots. And I was like, so who wears these boots? He's like, hard-working men. And I was like, that ain't me.
Hard-working men wear these boots.
Yep.
All right, so I saw an interesting article where it ranks all the players in the Super Bowl. And obviously, I don't want to go through all 104 that are on the roster. We're not going to do that today. But I wanted to at least touch on everybody's at least top 5 to top 10 and see where your top 5 or your top 10 falls into where This article has it. It's a CBS Sports article. And if you're on Facebook Live right now, if you're on YouTube Live, or you're on Twitter, tweet us who you think your top 5 is, and we'll compare notes here.
So top 5, are you saying like the top 5 impact players on this game, or just top 5 overall rated players?
Yeah, the title of the article is ranking every single starter from the Chiefs and the Bucs in the Super Bowl. So I'm just, in terms of team value, let's go that way.
Okay.
So who is the number? Do you guys want to go 10 to 1 or 1 to 10?
1. We'll start from the top.
Start number 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Who is the most valuable player to you in the Super Bowl that's coming up this Sunday?
On a personal level or just NFL talk in general?
However you want to apply it.
All right, so I'm going to go on a personal, and I'm going to say Tom Brady because this is going to be his last game that he plays.
I heard that's not even close to true.
I think he's going to win it this year and be out.
I know both you and Corey think that's like the best swan song. There's a guy that does a Tom Brady podcast in New York, and he said that Tom Brady wants to play well into when he's 45. That there is almost a 0% chance that that'll happen this year. And when I heard that, I was shocked too, like a 0% chance, because it is a great ending to a great story, but I don't think Tom's done by any stretch of the imagination.
Dude, we should make this with my bookie. Make this a prop bet.
Yeah.
Will Tom Brady win the Super Bowl and retire after winning the Super Bowl?
It's almost a parlay.
Wow.
So what do you think, Corey?
As much as I'm going to go with football sense on this one, as much as I like Tom Brady, it's Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's the best quarterback in football. He's the best player to me in football, and he can have the biggest impact on this game from a talent level and a physical level, because he can really control the outlook of the entire offense for the Chiefs. So I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes, but if, Tom Brady, you can't argue that.
Well, Patrick Mahomes is number 1 on this list, and it's tough because obviously we went quarterback first, right? Yeah. I mean, those are the most important pieces on these teams. And Tom Brady, he wasn't on the Bucs last year, and they didn't make the playoffs. He's on the Bucs this year, and he is going to the Super Bowl. So the value, if we want to get into the value talk there, but on the other hand, Mahomes went to the Super Bowl last year, and he's back this year. So I don't think either of you are wrong on this. Like, the first pick is either going to be one of these two guys either way, right? Yeah. So your number 2 is probably going to be Mahomes. Your number 2 is probably going to be Tom Brady, right?
Easy.
So it's a tough debate.
Why are you over there predicting what my second pick is?
Oh, I guess I'm putting words in your mouth.
Chad Henne, baby. Anything is possible.
Speakeasy Sports, a guy that we talked to, does podcasts in the Detroit local area.
I love how we really don't know his name.
Yeah, he's got like Fremont Jackson. He's got Speakeasy. He's got Bill. I don't know. He's got a ton of names.
2021, you call people by their Instagram handle. So he's Speakeasy Sports.
But he had a great comparison about this game, and he texted to me last night. Like, Brady versus Mahomes. Is this like LeBron playing Jordan?
In a sense.
I wouldn't go that far, because Jordan isn't playing right now, so it's like that's like next level with Jordan.
No, I'm saying like when LeBron got in the league, like not today. No, Jordan's old as hell.
I mean, if you're comparing them both like that, yeah, because Jordan was on his way out and LeBron was just getting started.
Right.
Yeah. I just really hate putting them in that conference, but yes, that's it.
What's up, Art?
Isn't it similar to Kobe and LeBron in like 2009, 2010? Wouldn't you say that would be a better comparison?
And that is the interesting part, because you got to factor in the Kobe factor, because there is a stopgap between Jordan and LeBron. There was the Kobe era, so you kind of skip over that. And
how many years did Jordan get in there with LeBron?
I don't know exactly how many he played together.
No.
Yeah.
0.
Yeah, it was 0, right?
0.
So when did Jordan retire?
I want to say 2002.
Oh, wow. 03.
Because 03 is when LeBron got drafted.
Right.
So Jordan retired like
so I can't put that on the Jordan level then.
Okay.
I would say Kobe LeBron is probably a better comparison.
Okay. I just thought it was an interesting point. You got the greatest of all time going up against the next supposed greatest of all time.
Right.
The GOAT versus the baby GOAT is what people keep saying. And I don't know if that's offensive to Mahomes or not. Like, would you want to be called the baby GOAT?
No, I just want to be called a GOAT.
Right. I don't want to be a baby goat.
But you got to respect the fact. I mean, when you see what Tom Brady's achieved in his career, I guarantee you Mahomes looks up to Brady.
Yeah. No, so those are the 1 and 2, right? Or Joey, do you have a different number 2? Or
No,
were you
it
joking
was
with
Mahomes.
Chad
Yeah, I was
Henne?
messing with you.
Okay. Now it gets interesting because obviously you take away the quarterbacks from these teams. Now you're focused on different parts of the field for each different team. So who are you taking as your number 3 ranked player? And everybody that's in the chat right now, drop your comments. Do your top 5 so we can read some of them back because we'd love to see what you guys are thinking too. So go ahead, Joey. Who would be your 3rd player?
So my 3rd I got here is Travis Kelce because he's had at least 7 catches in 10 straight games and 100 yards in both playoff games. So I look at this as if he can do this, this is going to help the team, obviously, and they need this.
Right.
I got Travis Kelce as well because at the trajectory that he's going right now, he's going to be one of the best tight ends ever. So he's going to have the biggest impact on the game outside of Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you guys are nailing it because he was number 2 actually. It went Mahomes, Kelce, then Brady on this list.
That's wrong.
Why?
You cannot have
A tight end before a
I'm on my list. I'm already stretching it by putting a guy that's in his 10th Super Bowl at number 2. You're not going to put Travis Kelce at number 2. No.
They did. Travis Kelce sitting at number 2 on this list, and then Tom Brady at number 3. Actually, out of the top 5, there's only one buck, and it's Tom Brady.
Wow.
That's not that far-fetched.
Yeah.
All right. So
honestly, for me too.
So moving on, number 4. Who you got at number 4 as the most valuable player in this Super Bowl coming up Sunday?
Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
He's just again.
That's
he's a part of
That's it.
he's
The
a part,
cheetah, baby.
He's a part of that dynamic Chiefs offense. He's going to make it go. Travis Kelce and Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, they're great, and they make Patrick Mahomes go. They make him even greater than what he is. So, if they're healthy and they're good to go, they're going to have such an impact in the game.
Yeah, without those two, I mean, the spacing on the field is completely different. And they highlighted it last week during the championship game. Like, it's just this one route that both of them run. It's kind of just it's not even like an out and up. It's just a straight slant across the entire field like this. And what it does is it screws with zone defense. It screws with man defense because you can't keep up with Tyreek Hill. Or if it's Kelce doing it, he's bigger than the line or bigger than the DB and faster than the linebacker. So he's getting open. And literally, watch this play on Super Bowl Sunday. Whoever's in the slot over here, they're just going to run this little angle right that. And
I mean, dude, you can't catch him.
No.
But then on top of that, you got Hardman. So it's like you look at the speed for this team. It's crazy. Especially, I love all their motions, and they use them as like little wide receiver little runs or whatever you call those.
Right.
And it's just they're so freaking fast.
Right.
But for what I'm doing is I didn't want to focus all on offense for my top picks. So I went on defense for the Chiefs with Tyrann Mathieu.
Tyrann Mathieu, all right.
Because
so they
with
got him
him
ranked 8th on this list.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's not bad, though.
Wow.
Go ahead.
See, he's such a leader on the defense.
Yeah.
Like, his energy on the defense just motivates the entire team.
Yeah, Honey Badger don't give a shit.
He doesn't.
I love the Honey Badger.
Yeah.
Dude, the way he was setting the edge in the last game, like he was just coming in like a torpedo and just diving at the edge and forcing guys to go back inside. Like he had an amazing game. So that's who you have as your number 4?
Yep.
All right, let's get to number 5. Number 5 on this list. Who you got, Corey?
The Honey Badger.
All right.
Are you
I love how you
serious?
guys are so close on this. It's awesome.
I mean, I could just regurgitate what you said, but he's just a leader on the defense, and he will just – I think in this game, I think he's going to bait Brady into a pick.
Oh, all right.
Probably, I'm going to say – I'm going to predict the quarter, too. Third quarter, Brady's going to throw an ill-timed pick.
In the third quarter.
Yep.
I mean, last game he threw 3 in the third quarter, so that's pretty good odds.
And that's one thing, too, like when we talk about the Detroit Lions, when you have a good safety like the Honey Badger, it's a different game changer on the field. And look at like our previous Lions safeties. I mean, I can't name anybody probably back to Louis Delmas. Really, that was a real difference maker for our safeties.
I like Glover Quinn.
Yeah, Quinn was good. Hedebo was okay. But yeah, honestly,
Louis Delmas was a beast.
Yeah,
though.
Delmas is the only one I can remember being like that rocket guy. You know, just coming in from 20 yards away.
When he played.
Yeah, that's true.
for sure.
But like he was the only guy that was making those big tackles behind the line.
Yeah, he just Delmas just
Disappointment.
You sneeze on him and he's out the game.
I
Yeah.
know, man.
Yep.
Such a wasted talent there with Delmas.
So you go to my number 5. Is I'm taking Cheetah.
You're taking Cheetah?
Yeah.
All right. that's
So
not
we
bad.
literally had the same exact list, Corey.
So Richard on here, he's got Mahomes, Brady, Kelsey, Hill, and Gronk as his number 5, which isn't bad. Then we got Brady, Mahomes, Kelsey, Hill, and Mike Evans. Jeremy Bryant said that. Let's see. Tyrann Mathieu at number 5.
See, it just goes to show how good Brady is, though, that you don't even have to list all of his players on the top. It's
Right.
just
It's
on
just
Brady.
Brady. Right.
It's just on Brady. All these other ones, like, you can't afford to have a bad game from Tyreek Hill. You can't afford to have a bad game from Kelsey.
Right.
But with Brady, he's going to make it happen. That's what Brady does.
So we got Mahomes, Kelsey, Hill, Edwards-Helaire, which Art, you brought up before the show, and then Tyrann Mathieu. That's
He
what's
said the dude with 2 last names.
the dude with 2 last names. Brady, Mahomes, Hill, White, and Kelsey. Delmas was terrible. All he did was hit. Yeah, but that's what we were saying. He's
Right.
the last like big hitter that we actually had. And you're right. He would just launch at people and take out their kneecaps. Dan Campbell would love him. So, all right. Where were we at? Was that number 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move down to number 6. Number 5 on this list was Chris Jones, the defensive tackle. Just because, I mean, that defense, that front seven's pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I can't lie about that, but I don't think they're great.
Right.
That's just me though.
Who you got coming in at number 6?
You know what? I thought we was only doing the top 5. I didn't know we was doing the top.
Oh,
10.
okay. That's okay, Corey. Well, I'll just run through the rest then.
I'll go with Fournette for the Bucks.
Fournette. He is, I'll tell you where he ranks.
Oh, you scrolling.
Yeah, I'm
you're
really scrolling
scrolling.
for Fournette. Fournette's way down here.
Really?
I think Fournette's like 28.
Yeah, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is 24. Fournette's 26.
Okay.
So let me just run through the rest of this list then, because I thought this was fun, to rank all the players that are in there. At number 5, you got Chris Jones. At number 6, Levante David. At number 7, Tristan Wirfs. And these are all Bucs defenders for a little run there. Then you got Tyrann Mathieu at number 8.
How is he's below all those guys?
I love this guy, Ali Marpet. Do you know who he is? The offensive lineman, the redheaded offensive
yeah,
lineman.
yeah.
Dude looks like he's like a grown-up, like stocky midget dude. Like he just looks like a big midget. He's awesome. Devin White coming in at number 10. The things that I thought were interesting was Chris Godwin coming in at number 12 and Mike Evans coming in at number 13.
Yeah, I had that. I wrote that down too as being pretty interesting to me as well. But I mean, I'm looking at it. I think they're going to be. You know what? You have to separate them away from Kelsey and Hill, because even though they're a good wide receiving duo, they're nowhere near as dynamic as those guys. So they deserve to be in the top 15. So I think they're ranked appropriately. Other players you could kind of mix around, but I think 12, and no matter how you do the list, 12 and 13 for those two is about right.
All right, if you had to bet, who's going to be your offensive MVP of this game? If my bookie gave you a free $100 right now, which they are doing, by the way, all you got to do is put in $200. They'll give you a free $100. Go to mybookie.com, and you can enter promo code Woodward, though, to get that 50% back on your initial deposit.
It's funny you mention that, because I'm actually going to say Chris Godwin.
Godwin?
Yeah.
Really?
I think he's gonna be the MVP.
Adam's over there looking very confused. Joey, who do you got as your offensive MVP?
Man, this is going to be a tough one. I'm going to say Brady.
All right.
But the close backup's obviously going to be Mahomes.
All right. Yeah. I mean, to me, that's where you got to go. I would love to see in the Super Bowl. Sometimes you get those random players that just come out of nowhere too.
I think he's gonna pull a Troy Brown.
Okay. So like a Hardman may win the.
Nah, I really think it's gonna be Godwin.
Okay, you think it's gonna be Godwin?
I don't think Brady. I think Brady's gonna have a good game, but I don't think he's gonna throw anything like 300 yards, anything like that. I think that Godwin's gonna have somewhere like around $125 with 2-3 touchdowns, and he's gonna get a lot of those touchdowns around in the red zone. So that's where you're gonna see him get those inflated numbers and Brady not have that many, passing yards.
Another reason why I love Hardman too, because you mentioned his name, was when you see him recover from that punt that he fumbled.
Yeah.
And led to the touchdown for the Bills. Like, that to me right there, I mean, you saw him throughout the rest of the game where he was just killing it.
Right.
And it's when you look at him with Tyreek Hill, it's just freaking crazy how much talent they got.
It is crazy, man. It's going to be a fun game. I'm looking forward to Sunday, and we're obviously going to cover it the next 3 days and go in depth on the Super Bowl. Look a little deeper at some of the player matchups, some of the offensive schemes that they're going to be using. So I love Super Bowl weekend. It's such a fun time. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, though. We're going to have a watch party here, but we're kind of rebuilding the studio right now. So I don't know if we're going to have a watch party here, but I may have one at my house. And, we may do it kind of ghetto style, but it'll be nice.
I'm just hoping I can convince my uncle to stop being scared and cook, because every Super Bowl he does, he's a chef. So every Super Bowl he does this crazy spread of food. And since COVID, he hasn't really been cooking like that.
Yeah, we need to get back in the kitchen, man. Let's take a quick 30-second break. We'll be right back, and we're going to talk a little more about the Goff and Stafford trade, about who won, who lost, and what it's meant for the league yesterday, really. So we'll be right back.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Oh, man. So, obviously, the trade that shook up Detroit happened over the weekend, and it's been the buzz. It's been the talk. McVay is in Cabo right now with Matthew Stafford, loving on each other. They're so happy that they're together. Interesting timing on that whole trip, how both families wound up there before the trade was announced. But whatever, Stafford's in LA now, and that's kind of the whole thing. And I was reading some articles from LA, because I wanted to see LA's take on what they're getting. And they're comparing this to when they got AD. Can you believe that? When they got Anthony Davis on the Lakers, I like Stafford, good quarterback. AD is like a transcendent, surefire Hall of Fame player.
When you got no. When the Lakers got AD, as much as you may not like LeBron or the Lakers, you knew that they were getting to at least one finals. Whether they won it or not, you knew they were getting to a finals, because you have LeBron, who is, even though he's on his latter years, he's still in his prime, which is crazy, and AD is growing. Stafford, I can't put Stafford in the same conversation as a guy as AD who can physically change the landscape of a franchise. I don't think he's that guy.
I mean, that's what Stafford has to be, though, in L.A. with what they gave up for him, and they don't have a first-round pick till 2029, I believe, now.
Who's that?
The Rams.
Yeah, they gave up. No, first round was through 7 years, so it's 2023. 2023 or 24.
No. They gave us 23 and 22 and 23, and then they had previously traded away first-round picks for Jalen Ramsey, and they had traded away first-round picks for Goff originally.
Jeez.
So I don't think they really have a draft pick till, I think, 2027, 2028, 2029, somewhere in there.
Damn.
Yeah. They have mortgaged. They have gone all in on Matthew Stafford. All in. If he does not deliver them a Super Bowl in the next 2 years, that whole regime is going to get fired.
Okay, so here's what happened. So when with the Goff trade, so they traded away their first round picks since 2017. So from 2017 to 2023 there will be that 7-year gap of the first round draft pick. So they won't have a first round draft pick until 2024.
So 7 years without a first-round draft pick.
Yeah.
7 years!
And the last pick that they had was Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Who they sacrificed, 2 first-round picks for to move up? 2 first-round picks, 2 seconds to move up to take him number 1 overall, only to trade him for 2 years of Matthew Stafford, 2 more first-round picks, and a third-round pick 6 years later, 4 years later,
crazy.
5 years later.
This is crazy.
That is crazy.
Like, my thing is this, like, how do you trade so far out with a lot of these picks? Like, for me, I want some good picks for the next couple of years, but this team over here trading out years in advance.
I don't know. I mean, the thing I will give them the benefit of the argument is they went to a Super Bowl during this stretch. They were in the playoffs this year during this stretch. They won a playoff game during this stretch. They have a great defense. I mean, they have great players, even though they don't have any first-round draft picks.
It just shows, though, that first round really doesn't mean much. It's about scouting out the real talent.
And hopefully that's who we got with Brad Holmes, because he was their scout during a lot of this.
I mean, but thing is, they did trade those picks, and they end up being in the playoffs every year. They went up going to a Super Bowl, so it did indeed work. I just think that somewhere around the line, they everything fell off the wagon. I don't know, but to be able to, you're not having a first round draft pick until 2024. That means that if, like we said it again, if the Rams do not win the Super Bowl, not just winning the playoff game, they don't win the Super Bowl, heads are about to roll.
The coaches.
You got to get rid of the whole regime, which is crazy because McVay is supposed to be this genius and this offensive mind that he came in the league and set it on fire. And if he doesn't get a Super Bowl win out of this, and they've sacrificed so much, they are the clear losers of this trade if it doesn't happen. And it's Super Bowl or bust for them. That's it. Like, there's no other opportunity for them to make this a successful trade.
I think they're the losers of the trade any way you look at it, because first off, I don't think Stafford's going to play 25 games in a Rams uniform. Even though people are saying he's been healthy before, this is an older Stafford. This is a Stafford who has last season he played 8 games. This season he played them all, but he was banged up. As you age, you're not gonna get better after taking all those hits. He's gonna become more fragile. So if he goes there and he plays more than 25 games, more power to him. I still think that for what the Lions are trying to do for their organization, they won the trade because they have the draft capital and the equity. So if they want to go ahead and trade those picks down the line to move up next year to get somebody they want, or in 2023 to do it, they have the pieces to really reshape their franchise. The Rams, they are really tied to Stafford as being hit or miss. That's it. The Lions, they have more flexibility.
Outs.
Yeah.
We have outs, baby.
See, but for them, it was more of a risk, because they put all of this into Stafford, and what if it doesn't work out? But you look at us, I mean, we still got all these draft picks, too, to pick the right players to finish this off for us.
Oh, we have flexibility like crazy now. That's the best part I love about having all these picks in our back pocket. Like, if we wanted to package a bunch together and try to trade for Trevor Lawrence this year, we could. Like, all right, we'll give you Goff and 3 first-round picks. Not saying I want to do that, but we could do that. We can be on every conversation now for every big free agent that comes up over the next 2 years.
We could. We just got to make sure we got to create that culture, which they are doing right now. Just got to create that culture where we can attract those names.
Yeah. Adam, you weren't in here yesterday when we were talking about the trade, and, everybody loves your take on things. What is your opinion? How did you feel about the trade? I think 95% of people are happy about this. 5% I've heard complaining, but majority of people are really happy about this trade.
Yeah, everybody should be happy. I mean, it was a perfect birthday gift. They traded him on my birthday, so I was super happy about it. Yeah, but opinion-wise, there's nothing really to say. We stole the deal. 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, a 2-year commitment to Jared Goff. He's 26 years old. Dead cap space after the 2 years, so you could just get rid of him.
Right.
There's no risk involved for the Detroit Lions. This was a great trade. First time in my lifetime that the Lions have draft capital and they have leverage, so I'm super happy about it.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome to see that trade go through, and a lot of the talk has been now, how good is Jared Goff going to be for the Detroit Lions? Because
it's not fair.
It's not fair to have that conversation?
No, not now. It's too early. That team is horrendous.
Are you excited that Jared Goff is our quarterback? Do you think we got a draft this year for a quarterback?
We got to draft a quarterback.
This year.
Jared Goff is Jared Goff. He's not your next 10 years. So you have to make that change.
Why do you see? I think people are throwing Jared
Not
Goff
right away.
out the window already. Yeah, and I think, I mean, honestly, if you look at this dude's young career over the past 4 years or his past 62 games, he's 42-20. And yes, obviously
he had a squad.
He had a squad around him, but he's still 42-20. He went to a Super Bowl before he was 26.
Guys.
He won a playoff game this year. I'm not saying but to me, if we're comparing him against Stafford, like,
it's a great trade.
He's got a better resume.
Well, not even that. Well, first of all, Dan Campbell, Sean McVay, kneecap guy, fucking genius. So Jared Goff is a benefit, of course, of Sean McVay, but he's a great option to have at quarterback. Much better than Chase Daniels. Much better than really any free agent quarterback out there right now. So what the Lions did, honestly, is a huge win-win situation.
Yep.
You weren't going to have anybody under center next season better than Jared Goff. You have 2 years of him. You can draft a quarterback in the later rounds now. There is no pressure. I don't believe we should be drafting a quarterback at 7, but there's a lot of idiots in the chat that think that, so it's not my problem.
Do you think, Dan brings up this point, do you think Goff has a chance to be the next Ryan Tannehill? Like, it wasn't very great at Miami when he was in Miami, but when he switched teams, got a new look, got in a new offensive role with obviously a much better running game with Derrick Henry, but he became a much better quarterback. Do you see a Ryan Tannehill turn up for him, Corey?
I mean, yes, most definitely, but even more than the Ryan Tannehill situation, he's first off, Goff is now with a team that wants him, and he's already said that he's motivated to come in and play for a coach that wants him. The second thing you have to factor is you have Brad Holmes as the GM and Ray Agnew as the assistant GM. He's familiar with those guys because they scouted him. So the fact that they scouted him, you know that Brad Holmes is probably going to put some pieces around him or draft pieces or in acquiring free agency that are going to help make Jared Goff successful, which means that the Lions don't have to draft a quarterback with the first pick. They can address some of the more pertinent areas such as linebacker, defensive tackle, anything on defense, period. Then you got Aubrey Pleasant who's there. He's going to be the defensive backs coach, but he's also the passing game coordinator. So Goff has people coming that are in Detroit now that he is familiar with. That can only make his situation even better moving forward. Now, whether he's going to be the quarterback moving forward or not, that remains to be seen. But he's 26 years old. Just go out there and see what you have around him. If for the best interest of the Lions, you want Goff to pan out. Is he going to throw the ball like Stafford? Maybe not. But can he win more than Stafford? He's a proven winner.
He's already won more than Stafford. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the people that are just throwing him out, and, you know, the complaint with Stafford was, oh, he never won a playoff game. Oh, he never got us to the Super Bowl. This guy's won playoff games and gotten to a Super Bowl. So,
but not for the Lions. So now we just got to see it here.
I get it. I understand that. But wouldn't you rather have a guy that's been there than a guy that's could never get it done in 12 years?
Guys, you're trading a 32-year-old quarterback who has accomplished nothing in his career for 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, dead cap space in 2 years, and a 26-year-old, you can say franchise quarterback. That is a steal of a trade.
Yeah.
Like, nobody should be complaining about this trade. And if it doesn't work out with Jared Goff, who gives a shit?
Right.
We don't want Jared Goff. Nobody cares. We wanted the picks. Like, we moved off Stafford. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
The Lions were going to try to trade for the picks regardless. The fact that you got the picks and you got a 26-year-old quarterback who, if it works out, great. If it doesn't, all right. It's low risk, high reward.
Yeah. Well, to me, I mean, that's why we were talking about, like, who's the winner and loser of this. I think the Rams are the biggest loser in this because they have hitched their entire future of their entire franchise to Matthew Stafford, and not the prime Matthew Stafford that we had here in Detroit, the one who hasn't made it through 2 seasons in the past 2 years.
If they got Matthew Stafford, who was with Jim Caldwell, it would have been a steal for the Rams. If they're getting Matthew Stafford right now, who at the start of the next season is going to be 33. He's 32 now. He's going to be 33 when the season starts.
Right.
I don't think you can call the Rams losers of the trade yet. Only time is going to tell on that.
The only way they win is if they get a Super Bowl.
Exactly. Their objective is to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
Plain and simple. If they get to a few NFC Championships games, I don't think they're going to be too mad at that.
I think they are.
Depends how they go out. I mean, again, their expectation is they have a Super Bowl winning team. They have that defense. So nobody can call the Rams losers until the next 2 seasons play out.
Yeah. My scare with this whole thing, though, is with having Jared Goff here. Is like, I'm excited. Let's try him out. Young, 26-year guy. Could be a franchise quarterback. But my fear is these last 12 years or so, it's always been, oh, well, he didn't have this. He didn't have this. I mean, we're still in a situation right now where the Lions don't really have many weapons that Jared Goff could work with. So what are we going to expect out of him?
I mean, let's say Stafford came back. With this roster, it's still a 6-win team.
Right.
At best. Jared Goff, at best, you're still looking at a 6-win team. So now you got the same kind of results even with different quarterback talents. You're probably going to have about the same results, but you get the draft picks out the deal too.
Yeah.
Oh, and Broder just brought it up in the chat too. You could always trade Goff for more picks, and that, to me, that would be the most gangster move of them all if the Lions were able to pull that off. Not this year, because this year you're going to take a hell of a cap hit. But after year 2, it's almost free to let the dude go.
So is it after year 2?
Yeah.
I think they could trade. They can
trade him anytime.
They can trade him anytime, right. But if they trade him after this season, the risk is a lot.
10 mil or something, right?
It's like around $9 million. It's minimal.
And this year it's 24, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's ride him out 1 year, see what it is, and then have Justin Fields behind him.
Exactly.
Man, get that Justin Fields shit out of here, man. We're not taking him at 7.
Why do you hate Justin Fields so much?
If he's on the board, we got to take the dude.
I don't hate
to.
Justin Fields. I don't hate Justin Fields.
I don't think you have to take a quarterback at 7 if you got Jared Goff, because unless you feel that Justin Fields, or even a Trey Lance for that matter, is going to be somebody who's going to be transcendent, do not use that pick on the quarterback, because there are too many other areas that the Lions need to address.
See, but Jared Goff doesn't work this year. The next year we're in the same position. Whereas,
but you got 2 first-round picks. You got 2 first-round picks. So then you got 2 first-round picks and you got Goff. Then you can move up again and maybe grab that guy. But if you just waste that when you have defensive talent out there right now, it's gonna backfire.
Well, the thing is, we have no cap space right now either, so we're not going to be able to sign any free agents.
Yeah.
So we better start building it from the draft this year, and that we're going to see what direction they want to go in and who they're in love with, because it also matters who falls to them in the draft. Like, if they love Zach Wilson and he's supposed to go number 4 to Atlanta, but he falls to us at 7 and they take him, I'm not going to be mad at it because that was their guy. I just want them to have a clear path, to have a direct route to where they want to get to, not just, we're not really sure what we want. It's like, no, this is my guy. I'm going to go get my guy.
And listen, one thing we all could agree on, though, is a quick shout-out to Northwestern Tech, because they are that HVAC school that works. They got a hands-on 10.5-month program there. And I'm telling you, just go check out northwesterntech.edu for all the information. Northwestern Tech, the HVAC school that works. I mean, right now is the most perfect time for you to learn a new trade like this. So get started with your new career at northwesterntech.edu.
You got a message in the chat right now. You could bring Tom Brady to the Lions and they still wouldn't do shit. Do you agree with that, Corey?
No,
do you think, what do you think, Tom? Honestly, what do you think Tom Brady would do if he had this Lions roster? Because we just said Goff's a 6-win quarterback, Stafford's a 6-win quarterback. Let's just play. Let's just have some fun. Tom Brady, what does he do? Does he take us to 8 wins?
10-6.
10-6.
I'm with you.
I'm not saying now that dude really win a playoff game. Not gonna go that far, but 10-6, because just off the simple fact of that actually can translate into the next topic. He's a locker room changer. He sets a standard. I mean, look what he just did with the Bucks.
Yeah,
he just raised their level of game to Super Bowl at home, winning playoff games on the road from the wild card position.
He's making Quintez Cephas a star, Mohamed Sanu a star. Like, I'm telling you, he would do all that, because you look at the Bucks. It's been since 2007. They haven't even made the playoffs.
First off, let's just go back to Brady. Who would care about Chris Hogan if it wasn't for Tom Brady?
Dude, don't even bring up Chris Hogan. In my Dynasty Fantasy League, I traded Julio Jones for Chris Hogan and another player, because that was the year Hogan was like, 10, 15 catches a game, 20 targets a game. Dude was lighting it up, and Why'd you have to trigger my PTSD
Soft
with
spot.
Chris
Just hit him.
Hogan?
I know Nick says look who the Bucks have, but yeah, they had those guys with Jameis Winston and Tom Brady's the X factor. Let's just deal with it.
Yeah, famous Jameis eating them W's. It's going to be interesting to see what Jameis does for the Saints. But for real, so Joey, you think if Tom Brady was a Detroit Lion, we would have been 10-6 this year. Joey, give me a solid record. What do you think the Lions would have been if Tom Brady was our quarterback this year?
I would say 9-7.
9-7.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really think that he would just bring so much talent that we haven't seen out of all of these players because, I mean, you look at like the Mohamed Sanus and all these different
I love how you say
receivers.
Sanu.
And it's like, isn't that right? Sanu?
It's Sanu, but
Sanu, whatever.
No, you're Arabic, so
That's probably how you
when
properly
you follow
say
Muhammad, you got to say it like that. No, it's funny.
Mohamed Sanu.
Sanu.
But it's like Tom Brady really makes names out of players that you don't hear of throughout his entire career.
Right.
He's done this. Then they get traded, but they have this great value. So it's just the Tom Brady effect.
So then if that's the case, then why is it important that we have any quarterback then? I mean, honestly, like it's clearly more of an issue of not just a quarterback. Like we had a great quarterback with Stafford. We really did.
Mm-hmm.
Our offensive line was in. Our defensive line kept us in until the fourth quarter where we fumbled and screwed everything up. But why does it matter who the quarterback is then, honestly? What is the real problem with the Lions? If we were to have Tom Brady and he couldn't get us to, maybe even playoffs, then what's the issue then?
I mean, you got to have a great quarterback in the NFL, and that's you look at the remaining quarterbacks that were in the playoffs. Even all the guys that were playing last week are probably going to the Hall of Fame. Like you can't get it done with a mediocre quarterback, and that was kind of the knock on Stafford and the big argument around Detroit. Like Stafford was polarizing for Detroit. Half the city absolutely loved the guy, and half the city absolutely hated the guy. I've always been in the middle. I thought he was a talented guy, but I knew he wasn't the guy to get us there, and we were putting too much on him to be the greatest of all time when he's not the greatest of all time, but he's a very good quarterback. And so quarterback is a very important position, and I think if Tom Brady was in Detroit, we at least have a winning record last year, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you compare the two, like a Stafford to a Tom Brady you could get by with a little bit of lesser talent across the squad.
Right.
But with a Stafford, I mean, he's a great quarterback. It's just when you look at the players around him, he needs more support. He needs a little more help from his running back. I mean, we haven't had success out of our running game in forever.
Right.
And then
Stafford still is. We got to be real about him. The guy is still not as good as people want to put him up there.
Well, and that's the argument. He hasn't had the opportunity to be good, and now we're going to find out. We're going to find out.
TJ Lang had posted it on Twitter. I can't find the exact tweet, but
read.
He literally said, if you're having a conversation with someone and they say that Stafford wasn't a great quarterback, stop having a conveation with them.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
Me and TJ wouldn't have much to talk about.
Well, also,
that's what I thought about that. Like the Stafford is the greatest Lions quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean a lot in the scheme of NFL quarterbacks. And like I said, I don't think he's great, and I don't think he's awful. I think he was a franchise quarterback that we needed to surround him with some better pieces. Maybe he could have done better, but when he had the number 2 defense in the league, we still couldn't get out of the first round of the playoffs. So I go back and forth with him because you saw flashes of talent. You just never saw it come together on third downs, scrambles, stuff like that.
Stafford, now that Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers are retired, Stafford is going to be the number 1 active quarterback with the most pick sixes in the NFL.
Yeah.
7th all time.
Art, you have that Danny Amendola quote, right?
Let me see if I can find it. Yep.
Yeah. So Danny Amendola, this kind of goes right into what we're talking about. I mean, we put Tom Brady on the Lions, but this is kind of Danny Amendola's comments talking about Tom Brady, but kind of taking a swipe at the Patriots at the same time.
Well, first things first, and when you see Patriot Way in the dictionary, it's going to have Tom Brady's name next to it. None of those coaches threw any passes. None of those coaches caught any passes. None of those coaches made any tackles. They got guys in the right position because they watch a lot of film and they spend all their time at the facility. But Tom Brady is the Patriot way, and that's the reason why Tom Brady's in the Super Bowl right now. And the
I mean, that's throwing heat.
Oh yeah,
he's throwing heat. And, I mean, we got a small taste of the Patriot way here in Detroit, and it fucking sucked.
No, that was the Patricia way, and it's trash.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that was the Patriot way. I mean, it was Bob Quinn. It was Matt Patricia. It was 70 players from the Patriots.
It was the great value Patriot way.
It was the Old England Patriots. That's what I was calling it while it was here.
But, like, that's someone that played with Tom Brady. And when he says, no, it's not the Patriots way, it's not the Belichick way, it's Tom Brady way. Like, that's why Corey's saying that they're going to have 10 wins. I'm thinking that the Lions would have 9 wins.
Right.
I mean, the thing about it is, when you see former Patriots talk about that team, the first person they talk about is not playing for Bill Belichick. They talk about playing with Tom Brady.
Right.
And how Tom Brady set the standard in the locker room, how Tom Brady made them believe, how they never thought they were out of a game. LeGarrette Blount, in the Super Bowl against the Falcons, they were down, 28-3. The guys were on the sideline. It's a mic'd up. You can go on YouTube and look this up. It's a mic'd up version of that Super Bowl. Those guys were not on the side like, we got Bill Belichick, we're going to be fine. They're like, we got Tom Brady.
Right.
He's the greatest. Better never question that. And what happened?
They won.
They won the game. So
what do you think this does for Bill Belichick's legacy?
The thing about it is, you're not going to, with Bill Belichick's legacy, you're not going to be able to get those guys that are going to come over like they used to in New England and buy into that Patriot way, because now the proof is in the pudding. To make the Patriot way work, you need a soldier like Tom Brady who's going to stand in there and take all of that crap, because if the best player, it's kind of like Tim Duncan and Greg Popovich. If the best player can take getting coached at and yelled at, then who are you to come in there and try to buck the system?
Right.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, is the Patriots are shit now without Tom Brady.
Yes.
So it really is proof that, like, without Tom Brady, you're nothing. And I think even if Brady was to come to the Lions, like, there's more problems than just a quarterback issue. There was a coaching issue. We got rid of Pencil Neck. Like, he's gone now. Like, but it seems like it's more of an issue than just, oh, we need an elite quarterback, and that's why the Lions are making all these changes.
Also, too, people follow Tom Brady. Gronk was signed to WWE with a nice contract, and Tom Brady goes to the Bucs, and he's like, you know what? Peace out, Vince. Thank you for the paycheck. I'm coming out of retirement. And
you were sad about that, weren't you, Corey?
Nah, not really.
but that just goes to show, I mean, yes, I get people say, oh, the Bucs got a squad right now, though. That's why they're this far. But when you look at the Patriots had a squad, then all of a sudden Tom Brady leaves.
Yep.
They don't make the playoffs.
I mean, we've mentioned it a couple times. Your presence should be felt just as much as your absence. And Tom Brady is a prime example of, this wasn't addition by subtraction sometimes that you can have. Like, kind of similar. I don't know if it's going to apply to the Stafford situation, but, it was time to move on there. And it may be better for Stafford and better for the Lions in the long haul. Obviously, for the Patriots, it was better for the Bucs and screwed the Patriots to where their dynasty may be just done. Like, unless they make a big quarterback move, try to get a Deshaun Watson or trade for Garoppolo back, and I don't even think that's a big enough quarterback move. Like, they're struggling right now in New England, and all they can do is look at Tom Brady playing in the Super Bowl. Like, that's gotta... it's like watching your ex, man, with a hotter guy.
It's honestly amazing.
Oh, you've seen that, Art?
I don't want to. I was cheated on once, and I swear to God, it was the worst case scenario because she cheated on me with an MMA fighter.
Oh, have you interviewed him?
MMA so much.
Have you interviewed him on the Art of Podcast or the Art of Combat?
Bring him on, yeah.
So what did you do when you found out that your girl was cheating on you and you found out that he was an MMA fighter?
So I found out through a mutual friend, and they had said, yeah, she's cheating on you with this guy that she works in nursing together with, and he's an MMA fighter. And I looked up his record and watched his fights, and then I told her it was over and she could get the hell out because I knew there was no way I was going to beat this dude. Like, he looked better than me. He was stronger.
So if you could have kicked this dude's ass, you would have stayed in the relationship?
No, I would have beat the shit out of him and then broke up.
Oh, okay, all right.
But I knew it was a losing battle. Like, I'm not going to win. Like, I'm 5'8", $160.
I can see Art say, no, I'm going to whoop his ass. Tell me who he is. And then he finds out who it is.
Oh.
Okay, have my girl. It's okay.
He can have that. I didn't want her anyway.
No, I can see Art being like, can I get his contact to talk on my podcast?
I'm so done with you. You're not wrong.
Oh, how many fights?
Was he a good MMA fighter?
You know what? I haven't looked at his record as of recently, but it makes me sick to my stomach. Still to this day,
What's
like,
his name? Let me
I'm
search
with
him
my
up.
wife. I'm happy. Everything's great. We got a gaggle full of kids, but like, just knowing that, like, you couldn't beat him up.
Right.
You know, like it was devastating. But I'll be all right. I'm good.
So that's what the Patriots are going through right now. Tom Brady is the MMA fighter, and the Patriots are Art sitting there just defenseless against this guy just taking your girl.
And look, they're there supporting him in his career too.
Right. We got to give a shout out to everybody watching us on Facebook Live right now and everybody on YouTube and Twitter. If you're new to the Morning Woodward Show, drop your name in so we can see who's here. We love having everybody watching the show, so thank you guys so much. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in the long haul, not only for Tom Brady and what happens at the Super Bowl, but also with the Lions and Jared Goff and the Rams and Matthew Stafford.
I just have a weird feeling that they're going to regret this trade midway through this season. I just have a weird feeling.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back in 30 seconds. And, Joey, we got to talk a little bit more about the Let Them Play.
Yes.
Because some big names in Michigan sports have just hopped on the train.
Yeah, and there's some rumors that there's going to be a talk even at 10 o'clock today.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that coming up next, right after this.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys and ladies. This is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
So Saturday, Joey and I had the honor of being out at the Capitol building in Lansing, and Joey did a great job emceeing. He got the microphones out there, the whole sound system ready to go, and it was all to do with Let Them Play. And it's the initiative to get high school kids back on their respective court, field, whatever you want to say, rink for the hockey players. And that was Saturday. Yesterday, two major Michigan college coaches chimed in on what's going on, and I thought it was pretty neat that this thing, you found out about it because of a Facebook page, right?
Right.
And then we went out there. Darren McCarty came with us. Darren McCarty was asked to be on the news yesterday.
Fox and Friends yesterday.
Talking about it. And now, go ahead, Joey. Who has hopped on so far?
So a few days ago, Oakland University's head basketball coach Greg Campy hopped on board.
Joey,
and just talked about, he did coming from the basketball squad though. Still a little soft place. But the thing with it though, I mean, he was focusing all on the whole mental health, and we can't get away from the whole point to this because I know it turns political.
Right.
I don't get why it does, but it turns political, and that's not what we're here for. We're here for the kids. And then yesterday, U of M's Juwan Howard came out, and you see it up right now. Juwan Howard, he posted a great post, and it started off by just saying about how his heart pours out for all Michigan high school athletes who cannot participate in their sports, and just talked about how important this is for scholarships for the students, and just about how the competitive season really just helps kids, because he sees it, especially as a college coach. He sees this when recruiting all these high school athletes, what high school sports really means to them, not only about them getting their scholarship, but what this just means to them for their mental health. You see things time and time again about how this is affecting kids, and you see it with the hockey player that took his own life, and you just see more and more things coming out, and it's just scary.
Right. Yeah. But now that more prominent people are hopping on this, obviously there's been enough attention called now, they're aware of the issue. Jamie's done an incredible job getting the word out there to people and
for months and months
coordinating all of this, and she was so hospitable to us when we were there. But it's good to see that it's not just like us speaking up about this. These are professional coaches. Juwan Howard was, part of the Fab Five. He's part of the fabric of what Michigan is. And when those people start to take the lead, that's when action really starts happening.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's the head of one of the biggest programs in the country. So when he speaks, his voice is going to carry a lot of weight. Also, too, think about how that's affecting his recruiting going forward. And the prospects that are trying to come in, they're not able to really get their real game in. That's affecting so much more than just some kids playing basketball. They're affecting their livelihoods and their mental health. So it's so many factors at once that if people just try to look at it in the vacuum of, they're not getting to play basketball or football, it's bigger than that.
It is. Yeah.
More than just the game. That's my favorite line about all this, because it truly is. And there's been a lot of rumors about a press conference happening at 10 o'clock today, and I'm getting confirmation that the Let Them Play will be having a press conference at 10 a.m. today regarding the postponement of winter sports season. And there is going to be talk from the lawyer on the whole lawsuit with this whole Let Them Play.
Yeah, and I guess we'll try to figure out when it can be reinstated, because, that's the frustrating part about this for a lot of kids is if you play AAU basketball in Ohio, you can go play basketball.
You're good.
But because you live north of that imaginary line between Ohio and Michigan, you're not allowed to play sports. And this is where, like when Kareem Rozier was up there speaking, this is where it gets...
St. Mary's High School.
Yeah, Orchard Lake St. Mary's. This is where it gets beyond just, like you said, it's not just let the kids play basketball. Like, that's a stupid argument. This is let the kids have a future. Let the kids pursue their dreams. Kids are missing out on scholarship money. Kids are missing out on getting looked at, and it's really only affecting Michigan athletes at this point, which is that's where I get involved. If this was across the board, and
100%,
it was like, hey,
we're not going to lead
right, I'm not leading people to certain
No.
death. No, I'm not stupid like that. But the fact that 49 other states are able to figure it out, and we're here playing with kids' emotions when literally children are killing themselves because hockey's being taken away, at what point is that life less valuable than another life?
What's going to end up happening is it's going to end up being some type of – it's going to be some bad pushback if it does not happen. I mean, I don't want to say what or kind of speculate anything. It's just like –
but Corey's going off.
It's going to be a boiling point for somebody. Somebody's going to reach their boiling point, and when it happens, anything is possible. So I think that when you look at all of the other states and we're the lone one that are not letting the kids go play, it's like, okay, what are we trying to prove here?
Or what are we missing? What am I missing from? That's really what I want to know. Like, not what we're trying to prove. What the hell am I missing? Like, I don't know, and I just want it explained to me so I can understand it, and that's the thing. Nobody's getting real answers. Like, why was Ford Field able to host the football, but 12 players can't be on a hockey rink, but they can 12 people in a classroom? Like, there's just so many weird variables that I just don't understand.
And literally when you look at it, too, because the big thing when they released this with the postponing of the season was, quote-unquote, contact sports. But then they bring back football, right, the biggest contact sport of them all.
And I'm glad they brought it back, though, and they were able to get through it, and, 99.9 negative rate on the 30,000 tests. Yeah, like, it's crazy. Art, you got something?
I think what's irritating about it, too, is when you look at what Jamie has done with building this group, and it's public knowledge now because I'm live posting an article about it. Her account was actually banned, and I looked through the group. There's nothing political about it. It's science, and it's strong opinions, but there's nothing political about it. So the fact that, sure, Facebook is a public/private platform in which they can ban you for whatever they want. I mean, I'm going through it right now. I look at that and I'm like, where's the free speech? And I'm not trying to wave my American flag and Trump or nothing. Like, it's nothing like that. It's just like,
no, you're not that way at all. You're not a political guy at all.
No, and honestly, like, I understand the mask. I have one right here. Like, I understand the social distancing. I understand the 25% restaurant capacity. As much as I somewhat disagree with it because it's killing restaurant and business owners, with this, it's a let them play movement in the sense that there is actual science. You hear the other side all the time. Where's the science? Where's the science? 99.8% test success rate. We're like, what are we doing?
It's the consistency, and that's what we keep talking about, is the lack of consistency on this whole thing, because you hear one thing and then the next day they switch it. So it's just that's the tough part. I mean, especially when you're a high school kid and it's about your football season, because initially with the football, they said it was only going to be like a week or two. And then it was 8 weeks of playing. Then they take an 8-week break and then come back to play for the playoffs and the state championship. And it's just that's the thing that we all struggle with is just understanding and just giving these kids just the truth.
But it's good that Juwan Howard and Greg Campy are humping on this board. I would like to see other officials and other people that are predominant. I mean, when we were out at that at the rally or whatever you want to call it,
peaceful rally,
the peaceful rally. I mean, there were coaches because you were like, hey, where are my coaches at? Coaches gave a shout. He did the whole juniors, seniors, freshmen thing. Joey turned it into a pep rally, really. Like that's really what it was.
It was beautiful though because like Joey has a way, and not to kiss your ass in front of you, but I'm going to. Joey has a way of like bringing people together, and like when you had said like, hey Whitmer, I got a message for you from all these kids, and it turned it into a positive movement. You see these movements that could very easily go negative and turn political, and you made sure that didn't happen.
It was not that energy at all out there. It was just, hey man, like we just want to play. Like it's the simplest word too, play. Like let them play. Like it's playing. It's not like we're not having them go for open heart surgery. Like
especially when you're seeing the numbers. You're seeing the 99.8%. You're seeing people taking their own lives. And it's not adding up because if you let one team play and finish their season, you got to let it for the rest of them. And especially, then now it's at the point where we're having certain people like a Juwan Howard and the Greg Campy of the world that are standing up for this. And at this point, all we can do is listen, follow their rules, and hope for the best, truthfully.
Like I said to Joey yesterday, it feels good to be on the right side of history with this.
I feel you guys. I feel everybody is because it's no consistency with these restrictions in Michigan. So with there not being any consistency, people can't help that they're confused. Like, okay, I can be in a room of 25, 30 people, but these kids can't go hoop. I can be in Target, packed in line, all this stuff, but they can't go play hockey with face shields?
The biggest thing that I struggle with, too, is that they allow it on the professional level.
Because it's money involved.
And they say, oh, well, they got their own protocols and this and that. That's bullshit. I know a lot of these athletes out and about going to things, and I'm not going to call any of them out, but I see them living their regular life. And that's what frustrates me is that I'm seeing them out and about doing their things, breaking all these guidelines, but these high school kids are following every single guideline. These high school kids are just trying to go play. They can't even go practice. They're all out of shape at this point.
And we get those reports of when the athletes, when the games and stuff are getting canceled. Not all the athletes are following the rules. The professional ones. Games are getting postponed due to contact tracing, and because guys are violating the rules. So it's like if you're gonna go ahead and still allow them to play while they're still violating the rules, go ahead and let the kids play. Don't just go ahead and let them play because your pocket's getting fat.
I mean, the NBA had to put in a rule where you couldn't bring girls into your hotel. Like that's how out of control it was getting. Like they're like, guys, can we just do us this one solid? Quit nailing girls on the road. Yeah, like that's all they asked. Was
Joey
no
talked
groupies.
about that, and it was crazy. Like he talked about that in the NFL too, like how they had to basically do like babysitting checks on NFL players in the hotel rooms to make sure that they were there, to make sure there wasn't parties going on. It's crazy. And then you look at these kids where they have parents, they have a home life. Like my son, he struggles. Like he's 10 years old up in northern Michigan. He can't play sports. He plays hockey, baseball, like everything, and he can't. And I see it. Like I see it as a parent. It's devastating.
What is he turning to if he doesn't have
video
sports?
games? And that's what sucks. Like as a parent, like I'm like,
you want to go out, you want to go out, play,
because it's like I need a release too. But at the same time, like go outside, and it's like, what is there to do outside? You have to socially distance. You can't be in large groups. Like it sucks, man. I think we've had enough.
It's interesting to see what these kids are turning to. I'm glad you brought up your 10-year-old son, because I think back to when I was 10, 11, 12. I was a 3-sport athlete. I played, baseball, and I played, travel ball all the way up to football season. And I played football all the way up to basketball season. So I never had a break. Like maybe 2 weeks a year, I wasn't in a team sport. I can't even fathom my childhood without sports and what I would have been doing. So, I mean, I guess I probably would have gone into video games too. But
the best part was Stick, when he was speaking, on Saturday at the Capitol. He goes up there and he says how important it is for high school sports. And I'm going to be honest, I sucked.
Well, I don't want to bullshit people, man. Like,
because they're out there like, luckily you old enough to where they can search and it ain't even in the
their
database.
jackets on.
I almost rocked my varsity jacket, man.
He did on the drive there. He said, man, we should have rocked our varsity jackets. I looked at him. I was like, I don't even have one.
But no, that's my point. Like, I was not a D1, recruit. I was not a D2. I was not a D3 recruit.
Or a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know how high they go on divisions.
Oakland Community College wasn't even knocking on my door, okay?
Damn.
Dude, he tried playing OCC pickup intramural ball, and he didn't even make the team.
But at the same time, man, I died for those sports, and I was a decent athlete. Like, I wasn't good. Like, I wasn't ever going to be a D1 athlete, especially after I had surgery on both my knees. Took everything away from me in that aspect. Like, I was my 12-year-old year was my peak athletic year. Outside of that, all downhill from there. But yeah, I wanted to be honest with people. I don't want to be up there like, listen, when I was in high school winning state championships, throwing, I didn't want to be Al Bundy, and I'll never be Al Bundy. Like, I didn't score 4 touchdowns at Polk High. No. I got my letter because I played a couple plays, made a couple tackles, and had some fun doing it.
Not to get political about this, but it's almost impossible.
That means you're going to get political on this. You don't preface with not to get political.
I know.
Go ahead.
Anthony had commented and said, get vaccinated first before letting them play. What are your thoughts on that?
Whew, that's such a personal decision, man.
It is. And whatever you say right now is going to be taken the wrong way, but I'm going to be the first one to say is I trust in science. I really do trust in it. But it's like an iPhone update. I don't trust it right away when it comes out, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying this. It's just the truth. I appreciate people being leaders and wanting to be the first to get this done, but come on, let's be honest. It's not going to happen where every single high school athlete is going to get this done. It's not. I'm the same way even about the flu shot.
The other thing is there's already a 99.8% success rate without a vaccination.
Right.
That's what we're talking about. Like, let them play. 99.8%. Like, that's 0.2% to 100%. What are we talking about?
To each their own. That's all we can say on this. To each your own. If you feel comfortable, I'm going to clap for you.
Yep.
I'm proud that you're doing it, and I hope it's nothing but the best for you.
I've yet to get the flu shot, so I'm just going to not talk about anybody and what their decision to vaccinate themselves or not. It's a personal decision. I just don't think – I think forcing somebody to vaccinate is the wrong way to go, though.
They said in the chat right now, Jenny's saying vaccines aren't approved for kids 16 and under yet. And so
you can't even do it under 16?
Can't even do it under 16 yet.
Really?
The other thing is we're a sports station. Don't get it twisted. Like, we're not going to turn this into, a political discussion, but at the same time, these are the topics that we have to talk about as Michiganders and as Americans. Like,
there's no bigger sports story in Michigan right now than
Hold up. Why can't you get it if you're under 16? They want us old people to get it, but under 16 you can. This scares me a little bit too.
I mean, the fact that it's such a new vaccine kind of scares me, but I do believe in vaccines because, we're not dealing with polio. We're not dealing with all this shit that used to happen like in the 1800s and 1920s because we have vaccines. My issue with this one is it may be rushed.
Fast track.
Maybe rushed.
It was super fast track.
A little rushed. But at the same time, I know lots of people who've had it. Said it's no big deal. Doctors are taking it that I know, say it's no big deal. So, I'm just going to defer to the individual on this. If you want to take it, take it.
Yeah.
I'm going to – in this situation, it's actually cool to be friends with your ex because she's a nurse.
In this situation?
No, she's a nurse.
Okay.
And she's
what the fuck?
I was going somewhere with it. She's a nurse, and and she's been telling me, stuff that I can say and not say about COVID, and I'm going to ask her about the vaccine and has she taken it yet, and what does she think about it? If she tells me I need to get it, then I'll consider it. But she's been pretty upfront with me about everything going on with this.
Corey's got that vaccine hookup early, bro. He's selling them 2 for $20.
Corey opens his suit coat, just vaccines all the way
man,
up and down.
I'm about to be like Hustle Man from Martin.
And I got the steaks over here.
But one other point that I want to make on this is, with schools, how parents have the choice if they want to send their student in person or online. Why can't it be the same for sports? Let the parents make that decision.
And I thought that, I don't want to say what I was just going to say, but
you could say it.
No, it's okay. It's the truth. But that's the point of like this whole country is we're individuals and allowed to make freedom of our own decisions, and that's what I love about it. Like,
speak on Peter Nwake too from St. Mary's, what he said, because this is really a great point.
That I don't even know like if I registered it correctly until like a day later.
Yeah,
like it was something so powerful that it took me time to really process not only what he has seen, but what he's been through and where he's at right now. So Joey mentioned Peter Nwake.
I'm literally getting the chills right now.
He was
thinking about this.
I watched him last year, and last year's Orchard Lake St. Mary's basketball team, in 2000, Orchard Lake St. Mary's had a team that was ranked like 15 in the nation. The greatest team ever to come through Orchard Lake St. Mary's. And I talk about him a lot because that's my high school, and I love him. And
he sucked when he played there, by the way, all you people watching.
I got cut from that basketball team, in case you all were wondering. That's how good they were. Like, I was 6'4" and still cut from the basketball team. But either way, so last year's St. Mary's team, everybody in the school was buzzed about them, and like alumni were like, man, these kids may be better than the 2000 team. And like,
that's a big deal because that 2000 team turned out some freaking stars.
Maurice Seawright, you got Jermaine Gonzalez, you got Jonte Jones. I mean, you got Davis, who went pro in the NFL. So like I could go on and list the whole damn team if I wanted to. But either way, so Peter played for the team last year, and they took away high school playoffs for basketball around this time last year. And they were just getting into the state tournament. And so he gets up on this podium in front of the Capitol in Lansing, and he starts talking about how he's from Nigeria, and in his country, if you stand up against government, he has literally witnessed people get murdered for doing that. And he's standing up there using his freedom, using his voice, and he's telling all of us that, listen, I love that in this country I'm able to stand here and do this right now because it is a respectable discourse between us and the governor at this moment. That's who they want to turn around. And the fact that he could do that without fear for his life, we're talking about letting the kids play. But to me, you step back and take that moment away from it. Like, holy shit, no matter what you think of this country, no matter what you think about your politics, what side left or right you on, the fact that this kid from a foreign country could stand here and feel comfortable talking politics without the fear of being murdered should let you know that all of these are such sub-issues that we're so lucky to be debating them as humans.
Oh, yeah. Like, totally. For real, like, you're going against what a government is deciding. Like, in other countries, you can't do that. But then you look at how great this country truly is, the freedom that we have. Like, you're allowed to have an opinion of your own, and you might be watching this right now thinking that we're dumbasses. You might be disagreeing with everything, and guess what? That's totally okay.
Right.
We respect your opinion. We're not going to go against you, but this is the way that we feel, and this is the way that a lot of people from the Let Them Play rally that are watching right now feel.
Yeah, and you know what? It's as long as your intentions are good, then you're fine with me. Anthony is blowing it up in the chat right now saying, it's a protest, all this stuff. But his intentions are to keep people healthy, which is fine. He's operating in that fear complex where, like, if this happens, it's going to continue to spread the disease. It's only going to get worse. And that's fine. I appreciate that perspective. We're operating from a different perspective, but at the same time, we're all on the same team here. We all want the same thing. We want to get back to normal life quickly. We want mental health to be a major issue. We want our kids to be happy. And, like I said, to take a step back and concentrate on what Peter said, like the fact that we're having this debate, an Arabic guy, a white guy, a black guy, whatever the fuck art is. It's just, I love
amazing.
This place, man.
And that's what's so amazing about this. I mean, at what point, though, are we going to be okay and allowed to continue play? Because, I mean, we keep saying the numbers, and we all trust in science, so don't think we don't. But you hear 99.8%. And I don't know about you guys, but, like, that's a high percent. Like, is it going to be 100%? Because I don't think we'll ever reach 100%.
We'll figure it out, man.
I think reaching 100% is pretty much impossible. I don't think that COVID is – also, too, COVID is, is not like a season. It ain't going anywhere.
No.
It's here to stay. It's a new virus. So now we have to learn how to live and adjust with it. The flu kills millions of people every year. we learned how to live and adjust with it. This is just going to be something else that we're going to have to learn how to live and adjust with.
I'll say my last point. Someone in the comment had said, it's not about the 99.8% success rate. It's about the side effects and everything. I get that, but there's also side effects from not letting them play.
Yes.
And I don't need to say what it is because we've talked about it a couple times. It devastates me as a parent, and I'm not trying to use that as like you should feel for me because I'm saying it as a fact. If we're talking facts, there are children out there that are so depressed and so emotionally stressed from being locked in their house for a year plus. Not only can they not go to school and see their friends, but they can't play sports, that they're ending their life. So if we're going to talk about side effects, we should really talk about that discussion too.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line, and that's really what we're looking at. We're looking at the debate of which is worse for these kids at this point.
Yeah, because nothing's going to be 100%.
No.
On both sides, there's no guarantee, but that's life.
Right.
We don't know. And, I'm going to leave it at this final point. At 10 o'clock today, they're going to be holding a press conference, and there might be a decision. There might not yet be a decision, and it's out of our control at this point. We can try all we want, but the result is going to be the result, and we got to all make sure that we put our mental health, no matter what it is. Especially if you need help. You're looking at 4 of us right now that are here to help you out. So if there's ever anything that you want to you're struggling with, and you just want to talk to somebody, just hit us up. That's what Woodward Sports is all about.
Yeah, and I guarantee between the 4 of us, we've all experienced something that you're going through. And you throw on all the other people that are on this network too, the D-Max of the world. That's why he went out there, because of his struggle with mental health and what he battled. And it's just amazing that these professionals understand it too.
You know what really bothers me, on a lighter note, someone keeps asking me if I have to raise my hand on this show. No, Joik's not here. It's an open forum here, and I keep my opinions pretty close guarded, but Stick's nice enough to not have me raise my hand like a child.
Now shut up, Art!
Hit the buttons!
Turn that microphone off!
With that being said, let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, let's talk about Ndamukong Suh and what he said about Matthew Stafford. You've been waiting for this, Corey?
Yes.
All right, we'll talk about that in 30 seconds. Yeah, what's up, Art? All right, cool. So, Maz just walked to the studio. How you doing today, Maz?
Another great guy you could get advice from. I don't know what advice, but he got something for you.
Yeah, welcome to the Morning Woodward Show. My name is Stick. We got Corey. We got Joey. Art is doing producer candidate. Fish is in here. Fish Facts coming up in about 25 minutes. But Ndamukong Suh.
Oh, yeah.
So we talk about the Matthew Stafford and we talk about the Jared Goff trade. Ndamukong Suh's played with both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple years ago, he had a comment that said Goff is the best quarterback he ever played with, which would mean, by process of elimination, Matthew Stafford is not the best quarterback he ever played with.
I think that your math and your assumption is correct.
How do you feel about that? And what does that make you think about even more about this trade that we just heisted from LA?
Well, it goes back to what I said. For one, Suh does not bite his tongue. We've seen that. When he says something, he's a man of his word. He has conviction behind it. So I take what he says believe what he says. The best quarterback he felt he played with. First off, that's the quarterback who he's outside of Tom Brady right now, probably. That's the quarterback he's with the furthest with. He went to the Super Bowl with the Rams. Also, too, again, while Stafford may be a better talented quarterback, there may be intangibles that Goff has that Stafford does not.
I mean, one thing I could point to immediately just by looking at a stat sheet is Goff runs for a couple more touchdowns.
Touchdowns, but not more yards.
Not more yards, no, but he has a nose for the end zone. So that's one thing that stood out to me is Stafford, I mean, yeah, he only has 3 rushing touchdowns in his whole career. Goff had 4 last year alone.
Yeah.
But what do you think about Ndamukong Suh saying Goff is a better quarterback than Stafford?
I mean, I look at it like this. I hope he's right because now we got Goff, so you can say whatever you want about Stafford.
Yeah, that's it. No, and he had a quote about the trade, too. He says, I think it's an interesting trade. Obviously, L.A. gave up a lot of stuff. They've been keen to giving up a lot of first-round picks and whatnot, and more power to them. And like I said, I mentioned before I spoke to Jared Goff the other day, I just wanted to wish him the best and let him know if he needs anything in Detroit, because it's a city that I love. Shout out to Ndamukong Suh, and I've gotten a lot of quality relationships there. I'm happy to pass those along to him to make sure he's comfortable with his fresh start. Like the softer side of Ndamukong Suh.
Wow.
I'm not gonna put his whole business out there, but Suh's family is still he still has family here in the city, and they're pretty connected, and his ties in Michigan are still strong. So I believe him when he says that he has a lot of love for the city, and he wants his guy to do well.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you? You know, but it's just interesting that, you know, he played in L.A., and I don't see his quote being like, and I got some L.A. connections I'll hook Stafford up with. It's, no, I got Detroit connections I'll hook Goff up with. And really, when you have a dominant player like that, and to me it's like we were talking earlier, people are kind of just throwing Goff out with the bathwater and just like, Goff, he's not good. It's like, dude, Ndamukong Suh's telling you he's better than Matthew Stafford, and I'm not supposed to believe that?
I'll say this. Fans are fans. Players are players. Whilst fans can sometimes get things right, I tend to lean on what the people who actually played the game and who've been in the locker room with those guys, I tend to lean to what they say, because they obviously see stuff that we cannot readily point out. So who am I to disagree with Ndamukong Suh? I'm just a guy up here on the mic. He played with both of them.
Right.
But like when you look at it, I mean, to your point, the locker room look that he's got, I mean, he's with him day in and day out. He's played with both of them. But it's like, at what point do you really know, I mean, what he had in the back, like in his last few years with Stafford? Like, what does he have against Stafford? Maybe in his time here, there must be some bad blood or something for him to even come out and say that.
There's been Stafford, even with former players, there's a mixed reaction on Stafford. You have guys like, you know, Joy, Darius Slay, and a few others who love him. Then you have guys like Suh, I don't even want to mention this guy's name, Ebron, and then a few others who are like, he was all right.
Yeah, Ebron dropped every damn ball that went his way. Why would you get the ball more?
Yeah, it's tough to take Ebron's advice.
That's what I said. I didn't want to take it.
Loves Detroit so much.
But there are other people who have played with him that are like, you know, he's okay. I mean, some have went on to say that they didn't think that he was that guy.
Right. It's really going to be fun to watch how this plays out for both sides of this scenario.
That's who said it. I'm sorry, John Jansen.
John Jansen?
Yeah. He said that when he was in the huddle with Stafford, he saw that he felt that he was not the guy.
Wow.
And that's such crazy intel, you know, especially when it comes from Pro Bowlers and it comes from guys that are supposed to protect your leader. And if you don't have that absolute I'll die for you, like we were talking about with Tom Brady, you know, every guy on that team will die for Tom Brady because I'm pretty sure they know that Tom Brady would die for them or whatever block Tom Brady has to make. Did they not feel that with Stafford when they were here? Or was there like some dissension between Suh and Stafford because that's when the defense was kind of the star of the show? I don't know. These are all just questions. I have no official word that Suh feels any type of way about Stafford. I just know that he acknowledged Goff is a better quarterback.
I think, too, like the importance that Suh literally won a Super Bowl with the Rams, and he's still talking about Detroit. Like obviously we don't have the best teams right now. We're doing a lot of rebuilding. But It shows the importance of Detroit as a city and how much of a hometown feel it has when someone like Suh hasn't been with the Lions in years and he's still talking about us.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit has a tendency to latch people's souls. Like
I would say this: Detroit treats their star athletes pretty well.
Oh yeah, God, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of guys that don't leave here. Like they'll get traded to other teams, but they'll still have their home in Michigan.
Well, and a lot of that has to do with media as well, too, and how they're treated when they go out here. Like, remember when all the movies were being made in Michigan for those couple years before Snyder got rid of all that? It was great. You know, there were celebrities, all-star celebrities like Hugh Jackman, Ryan Gosling, Miley Cyrus was here.
Oh, yeah.
And they would always talk about how they could go out to dinner and nobody would bother them, how they could live a life and nobody would bother them. And that's, I
tried seeing Miley Cyrus. I won't lie.
Hell yeah, you did.
I love Hannah Montana. Best of both worlds, baby.
But that's part of it. I mean, like, that's part of the beauty of Detroit. I always say this about Detroit. It's the smallest big city in the world. And it really is. Like, this city is so interconnected. Like, we didn't know each other before, what, 3 months ago?
Yeah.
But how many people that we know each other?
It's like
everybody knows Corey.
Everybody. Like, we should have known each other, right? That's just how this city works. And, you know, I think these players, once they go to a Miami or they go to an LA or they go to a New York where the press is always in your face, you can't go out to dinner. Like, there's this real...
We ain't Hollywood around here.
No, we ain't Hollywood. No, we'll never pretend to be either.
No.
That's what I love about Detroit. Like, we never pretend to be anything we aren't. You know, like, I said this a couple years ago. Like, Chicago pretends to be New York. You know, Chicago used to be grinded out, hardworking, you know, like industrial community. Now you go to Chicago and you go downtown and it's just, they're soft. Like, Chicago's just a soft city now.
Yeah, it's all the soft people. They travel to Chicago.
Exactly. But when I grew up, it was like the Bears and big fat guys and mustaches.
The Brian Urlacher days.
Yeah, and now when I think of Chicago, I think of dudes in tight jeans and designer
Mile.
shoes. And, you know, like, Chicago's soft to me
Stick
now.
would fit right in.
Yeah, right. No, I actually, when I worked in Chicago, I was told I was too Detroit before I got fired.
That's so great.
Plus, I think Stick would be the only one in Chicago with boots that were chewed up by his dog that he just wears proudly.
How you gonna call me out with that right now, man?
The feet don't show on camera. Why you gotta do that?
Say it with pride.
I'm not even wearing pants right now. No, but that's my take on Chicago, man. So
there you go.
Chicago, you're soft. You used to be like Detroit and be hard-nosed, but now you're soft.
You won't say that on O-Block, though.
On O-Block?
Oh, never mind. Corey knows.
What, Ohio Avenue?
Corey knows about O-Block.
Wait, are you talking about Ohio Avenue on Finkel?
No, just
oh, then you don't know about O-Block.
I ain't messing with Chirac.
Don't mess with Chirac, bro.
I told you about my experience. That was the longest 3 blocks I ever walked in my life. In daylight.
I don't know, man. Like, I got lost in the south side of Chicago once, and I was like, this isn't worse than Detroit.
Yeah, I got chased down in Chicago. I was cleaning up foreclosed homes when I lost my radio gig, and I was going to get a pack of smokes, and they were chasing me. I don't know if it was my cell phone or whatnot. There's 4 dudes in a car, and I was like, I don't like Chicago. I'm good with it.
Like Chicago.
Yeah, it was nuts. I'm really fast.
Well, the one thing I do like, new dispensary coming to town in Ferndale.
Oh, man, we got to give them a shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Levels. They're not open yet. They're opening in a couple months, but we got in a sneak peek behind these guys and their whole operation. It's going to be the biggest thing to hit Michigan. Like, I'm so happy we were able to be a part of this brand. If you're on Instagram, Enjoy Levels. It's at Enjoy Levels. Go give them a follow right now. We're just really excited to help them launch this entire brand. So shout out to Levels, and we'll be talking about them a lot
They
more.
legit just started the IG, so we got to support them at Enjoy Levels.
Yep.
Show them some love.
Show them some love. So you guys want to talk about the kind of hole that's in the Detroit market right now, athlete-wise?
Sure.
I saw this question posed yesterday, and it really got my mind going, and I couldn't come up with an answer, and that scared the hell out of me. Now with Stafford gone, who is the most predominant athlete in Detroit?
Man, why you got to do this to me?
Who?
I'm going to have to say Blake Griffin's bum ass.
Why?
Because he had Kendall Jenner and, you know, it's like.
So because he smashed Kendall Jenner,
Right.
he's like 5 years ago.
When you put like the names like with Blake Griffin, he's the biggest name that we got.
Sad.
He's the most marketable name we have, I would say.
I don't even think he's the most marketable.
Yeah, he's probably made the most money off of
Okay,
endorsements.
he made
Blake
the most,
Griffin.
yeah.
That's marketable.
I mean, like you look at Blake Griffin and D Rose; those are probably the 2 biggest names that we got right now in any of Detroit teams. I mean, maybe a Dylan Larkin could be a close follow-up.
That was my pick.
But hockey ain't big enough like
Right.
that.
Well, and the Wings are losing terribly, so it's like it doesn't even compare.
Yeah, it's not big. Like the sport of hockey isn't big enough here.
I mean, if I'm an arguing man, and that's what we can do on this show, I'm still hanging my hat on Miguel Cabrera. He's still the most elite athlete we have. And supposedly he lost weight this offseason, just like every offseason.
So what's this topic again?
Who is the Detroit's best athlete?
Detroit's
what is wrong with
best
you?
Just look at the
or
screen.
most well-known?
Like the
Without
best
Matthew
athlete.
Stafford, who is the top dog athlete-wise in Detroit? Larkin is a good pick because he's the captain of the Red Wings, but is he a transcendent talent? Maybe not. That's yet to be seen. The Tigers, who's on the Tigers? We don't have Verlander anymore. We don't have, really Cabrera. Torkelson, if we want to go to like talk the young end, we could go Casey Mize. We go Torkelson if you want to talk Tigers. Pistons.
Let me take my pick back.
All right, who you got?
I just read the title. You said best athlete. I thought you meant like biggest, like brand-wise of who's the biggest.
I do. All encompassing.
Dan Campbell. He's really, now that Stafford's gone and he's making all these moves in the Detroit Lions coaching organization, really, when you think about it, all our other teams suck. Our only chance to really do well is with Dan Campbell and the Lions.
Actually, it is somebody on the Lions.
Swift?
No.
Jared Goff. Because you got to think about it. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's the only person of all of the teams that have been to a championship game.
Oh, my God. You're right, Corey. Corey's right.
It's Jared Goff.
Bitch, you're right.
We got nothing.
It's by default. It's Jared Goff. I'm not saying that I love it. It's just he's the only person who has any type of postseason success in the state right now, outside of maybe Blake Griffin, but that was with the Clippers, and that was
Miggy's
long
been to
ago.
a World Series.
Yeah,
Miggy's been to a World Series,
but
in Detroit.
Well, I heard
He won a World Series for Florida for the Marlins.
But he's 26 and he's the youngest, so
Yeah.
we threw out coaches though, so this is a no-brainer. Steve Yzerman.
Yeah, but if Steve Yzerman was actually doing something with the Wings, that's the problem. Is that
He's the
we're in
GM.
I know we're in a rebuilding phase, but
Right.
what I'm saying is that nothing's
We're all
happening.
rebuilding.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's why when I read this question and I just couldn't come up with a good answer, I'm
sad.
like, oh my God, there was a time back
Man.
when April and the D was a thing. like
for real, like when
just
you
had stars.
When you really start thinking about it, it's like, man, I gotta actually sit down and think about this one. Mason Plumlee's up there too.
Yeah. So that's just something that you can rack you. That's your brain twister for today. Who is the best Detroit athlete left right now that Stafford is gone? If we're going to talk Lions, you can go DeAndre Swift.
No.
He's probably the most promising up-and-coming player on the Lions.
It's too soon.
I think everybody says Miggy. I think Miggy's had, of all the athletes we have right now, he's had the best career.
Yep.
So if you want to say best career, yes, Miggy. Actual athlete right now that can be productive, I don't think Miggy will be that answer. That's just me.
Yeah, and man, we got to pay that guy a lot of money. Like a lot of money over the next couple years. Like Miggy he's making some money.
Can we say Big Sean? He's a part of the Pistons.
I know. If we're, I was just going to say this too. Like, what about if we're talking all of Michigan? You have Flint, and I would say Clarissa Shields, the greatest woman boxer of all time. But really, that's it. There's nobody. Detroit sports.
I like Richard Jasper here. He said Hawkinson, Pro Bowl tight end, second year.
Hawkinson is I can see that.
Up and comer.
I can't snooze at that.
And then Tom, you just dropped this one, Juwan Howard.
Yeah.
If we want to talk about cachet, we want to talk about experience, we want to talk about, the guy that can walk in the room and everybody knows who the hell he is. Juwan Howard. So I just wish we had a simple answer. Like we had a great player somewhere, like Ben Wallace,
like
or
think about
Justin
like LA,
Verlander,
like
or,
LA. If you ask this question,
right? Oh God, it would be a debate. Is it Kershaw? Is it LeBron? Is it AD? Now is it Stafford? Like they would have a debate. We can't have a debate. We're trying to come up with a name, not someone to put them up against.
So depressing,
dude. It is weird.
I don't like this topic.
I don't like this topic.
I want to get off this ride.
Oh my bad. You know what? I know who it is.
Who?
It's Hooper.
Hooper.
What about
it's
Rory?
Hooper's birthday.
What about Rory though? No, Hooper got more swag.
Hooper got way more swag.
Hooper is the dopest of all of our mascots.
Mini Hooper, man. Mini Hooper when they do that bowling and they
you love
rubber
that.
band him across the whole court.
You love that.
Oh, I love Mini
I haven't
Hooper.
seen that in person.
Oh, you got
They still
to.
do that?
Oh, how about Jeremy Grant?
He's on his way. I think I want to give him
some time.
I want to give him some time. He's on his way.
I do like that, though. Like, when you're talking about the Pistons, you were hoping it was going to be Killian Hayes, but Jeremy Grant has come in and really taken over that position on the team.
See, but we got to see how you handle the beat down of how bad Detroit sports are for a couple of years. Then we could give you this title.
I want to see you weathered and like just coming out of a divorce.
Like, honestly, that's why you give it to Matthew Stafford. Like, the dude is so good at accepting these ass whippings of seasons that it's just like you got to give it to him. But now that he's gone, we got to move on.
He's also the reason we've had some of them.
That's been kind of the knock, at least to me. Like, he's been good with accepting those losing seasons.
Yeah.
I wanted him to flip tables. I wanted him to throw people under the bus at some point. But he was so classy, and that's great for him. But you want a little fire.
That was a big question too with the Detroit podcast too with John McElroy, our boy. He wrote an article on SI with Sports Illustrated with TJ Lang, where Art kind of hinted to this a little bit earlier. TJ Lang actually said that because he played with him, obviously, and he said that would the Lions have performed better if Matthew Stafford had more fire in him?
I think so.
Yeah, the team
100%.
The team would have rallied around that. They would have been like, okay, our quarterback is inspired. We can believe in him. I mean, because that's all you see. Brady and even Peyton Manning, they were on this. All of those top tier quarterbacks, you see them getting in their players' asses on the sideline and they're rah at the podium. They show that passion and the fire. Stafford was great. I mean, he was good. But when it came to galvanizing the troops, you didn't see any speech or any memorable soundbite from Stafford that made you like, yeah, he's the guy he really wants to be here.
Yeah, but why do you need that, though? Like, get out there and play. Why do you have to, be the cheerleader for the team? I understand when you're the quarterback, you're the leader, and I get that. You guys were talking about this yesterday, that he never was at, a press conference where he's hitting the table, at him and, screaming. To me, play. That's how you can prove that you're great. Get your team together in the huddle. You don't have to do it by saying, basically words that have no meaning in a press conference.
Yeah, but he didn't do it in any of them. He didn't do it at the press conference.
Maybe
or
he's
in the
just not
locker
a
room.
media guy.
Or during the game on the sideline. Say what you want about Tom Brady. We all think he's a nice guy.
Oh,
he gets in asses on that sideline.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron Rodgers.
There's compilations on YouTube about it. I've watched it. It's the best thing ever.
Aaron Rodgers, we all know he's a prick. You see him yell at people all the time, and this is what you see out of quarterbacks that, they got to be motivators at the same time, too. Yeah, they're almost a half coach.
I mean, they are. When you look at a head coach,
they're
the quarterback is the coach on the football field.
If one of his linemen one of Tom Brady's linemen missed the block, the next clip when Tom Brady comes off the field, you're gonna see Tom Brady helmet off in that dude's ass.
Yep.
Wait.
Whoa, pause, bro.
I didn't even. I wasn't even going there.
You always get me when I say gay jokes like that.
Oh Lord. Anyway, Tom Brady gets on his linemen on the sideline if they miss a block. Matthew Stafford, maybe next time,
maybe next time. Yeah, and that's that's one of the knocks on him. And what I love about this whole Stafford thing and how it's played out is now he has his run game, now he has his defense, now he has his wide receivers, and now he has a decent offensive line. Mm-hmm. Everything every Stafford hater has said for the past 12 years, he now has. And everything the Stafford's lovers said that he needed, he now has. So it's going to be proven one way or another. We're going to find out who was right and who was wrong. And that's the cool part about this. If we would let Stafford play 3 more years here and just ride out in the sunset and never win anything,
6, 7
this
win
debate
seasons
could have gone on forever. Well, if he just had more. Well, if he just got this. But now he's got it all, and we're going to find out. And if he delivers, everybody on this side gets to be like, I told you it was all the organization. Stafford was the man. And if he doesn't get it done, everybody on this side gets to be like, it didn't matter what you gave this guy. He was never going to get it done. And I just love that.
We're taking this chance now. We get to at least see for ourselves because it's been 12 years of us saying, move on, right. And the team never listens to you.
Yeah, well, we're going to get a final decision on this, and there aren't many things in life you actually debate about hypothetically, and now we get to see. The only thing that can derail this from it being a legitimate argument is if he gets injured first game out and never plays again, because then it'll still be oh, well, we'll never know, but we'll know.
You know what? I don't think that Stafford's going to be that guy there. That's all I'm going to say. I don't see he's going to have to prove it to me. He's going to have to show me on the field, because I think that when people say that he did not have the weapons to win us playoff games, I just vehemently disagree with that. He's definitely had enough to win at least one in 12 years.
Yeah. Well, we get to find out, and that's what I love about it. Like, sports, this is what sports are all about, man. Like, we can have the debates all day long, but it's always settled on the field, and that's the beauty about sports. And then after the game's done, you can't debate it anymore. He either won or he lost, and that's it.
That's it. There's no BS on this one. We see it as the truth, but we could be seeing it in a little bit more clarity with my boy at Dr. Yoda. So I just wanted to give him a shout out. And you can call right now for your free evaluation at 1-800-398-EYES, or you could go to the YeldoEyeCenter.com. Well, I said that wrong. Go to YeldoEyeCenter.com. And I got 20/15 vision, and I'm telling you, there's nothing that I don't see anymore. I got the best vision ever, and it's the best thing that I could have done. So once again, the Yeldo Eye Center, Dr. Yeldo, the entire team there, I love you so much, and I know Stick does too.
Oh, I do very much, man. It's like more than anybody outside of my family. I love Dr. Yeldo.
Maybe a little bit more.
He literally changed my life. And you know what else changed my life, Joey?
What?
Your boy got his new phone.
Hey! Dude.
I have upgraded from my iPhone 6 that everybody around here has clowned me for as long as I've been here
to an iPhone 7.
An iPhone 7. No, but isn't that awesome?
Dude, you got the new. You got a newer phone than me, actually, for the first time in your life.
No, it's the new's the 12. This is an 11.
Okay.
But here's what happened. My old phone, 16 gigs. This one, 256.
Oh, boy. What are you going to do with all that memory?
I don't know. What do you do with it? I don't have to delete apps to take
he
pictures
can put all
anymore.
the porn on there now.
It was funny. Yesterday, I'm happy because Stick is the least technological man I've met. Did I say that right?
Sure.
Whatever I just said. He is not good with technology.
You're the least eloquent.
Yes. There you go. I don't know that word. But,
exactly.
But for real, like yesterday I'm going through Stick's phone preparing him to go to the phone store.
And I thank you.
had to help him.
I thank you for that. He backed up all my stuff so I didn't lose it all.
Dude's like, he literally looked at me. There's this thing called iCloud, guys. If you don't know about this, I got to tell you about it, because he looked at me and he said, yeah, but I don't want to get a new phone because I don't want to lose all my pictures. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, I don't want to lose all my pictures. I was like, okay, so let's back it up on iCloud. I only got 5 gigabytes and it's full. I was like, dude, we could upgrade your iCloud. He's like, really? But now he got that new, and I couldn't be more proud for you.
For 99 cents a month, Art, I got a bigger iCloud.
Hey, man, y'all good with that one, because I do not trust the cloud.
You don't?
I don't either.
Hell no.
Yeah, but you lose your phone, you're screwed.
No, I don't. I got a MacBook. Anytime I go ready to get a new phone, I back it up to my MacBook. I do not trust the cloud.
Well, either way, the best part about this is my iPhone 6, I tried to take a picture of my dog or my cat, and they're both black. And it would just show up as eyes, and you couldn't see any definition. But look at this picture I got last night of my homeboy Tyson and my homeboy Woody just hanging on the couch. Like, it's high def. You can see what Tyson looks like.
He's that guy. He's the cat taking
Dude,
he
looks Apple. Apple is
I have
about
a
to.
cat tattoo on my forearm. You think I'm worried about taking a picture of a cat?
Oh, damn, that's
I just
HD.
picture your phone just loaded and full because it's nothing but cat and dog.
Dude, Apple-
I love it. It's beautiful.
The iPhone 13 is about to drop, right?
But look
And
how
all they
cute
got to
they
do
look.
is run an ad curated towards Stick, where it just says, take 3D photos of your black cats.
Sold. You have no idea how frustrating it is to never get a good picture of him, because it's always just like there's no definition. There's no definition. He's just all black. But now he looks beautiful.
That's a good picture. I won't lie.
Yeah, the cat's name is Tyson. And look, if you look at him and Woody kind of match. They both got like a white chest, and they're all black. The cat's name is Tyson, named after Mike Tyson, my favorite boxer of all time. And Woody's named after Woodward Sports. So
nice.
Just a little fun look at the dog.
Can you please make, like, I know that you're happy and engaged, married, whatever. Can you make a dating profile video just talking about your cat pictures and talking about your cats and dogs? I think it's beautiful. I think it's the cutest thing ever.
I appreciate that, Art.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we could do that all day. Because look how cute Tyson is, man. Love that little guy.
I love how much you love your animals, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, dude, animals are the best. I absolutely love animals. So let's do this.
Oh, do you?
Speaking of animals, we got a fish in the house.
Oh, man.
Coming up next.
There's some fish in the house. There's some fish in the house.
Fish has got some facts for you, plus some bets coming up next. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys. And ladies, this is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking Thorogood boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
And before we get to Fish's facts, Joey and I went out to Grow Green yesterday in Whitmore Lake, and my God, that place is monstrous. They have so many cool things up there. If you're looking to start your own grow, or you already got one going right now and you want to kind of cut costs here because they give you such great deals, growgreenmi.com, or you can just go to the store or give them a call, mention Woodward Sports, and they will take care of you. Really great people out there, Joey.
They got amazing lights. They got the water filtration, the soil. They got everything.
Everything. And some great murals there, too. So
Yeah.
go check out their murals. There's some...
It's like Wu-Tang. You love that Wu-Tang flag.
It's a Smurf mural, and then one of the Smurf houses has a Wu-Tang flag hanging off of it. It was
So
amazing.
amazing.
It was amazing. So, Fish, it is now time. It is 9:50 on the Woodward Sports Network. Traffic and weather together on the 10.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, everybody. It's Fish. Fish is here with his facts. What you got for your Fish facts of the day, Fishy?
Well, it's going to be a great weekend this weekend.
Yeah, buddy.
We've got something called the Super Bowl.
Okay.
We've also got Six Nations Rugby Championship this weekend.
Ooh, just as big.
Very exciting. Yes, it is just as big.
And what is the source on this? Fox Sports Australia?
No, I just looked it up.
Okay.
No,
Oh,
I got a fact on it, though. So it's 6 teams, hence 6 nations. It is Italy, England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. There we go.
Go Ireland.
6.
Wales ain't bad, though.
What's your pick, Fish?
Let him get through his facts, guys.
Oh, sorry. I'm excited. I'm a betting gambler.
I will pull that out on Friday. I'll have bets for you on that.
You gotta wait.
Ooh, tease.
So England and Ireland. So the Six Nations was in 2000 when Italy came in. Before it was 5, and England and Ireland have never got last place.
Yeah, that's right. Irish don't finish last.
They're the only
especially
2 teams
England.
of the 6 to not get last.
And that's your fact?
That's the fact.
That
yeah.
is a great fact. So it's like the original 6 for hockey almost.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You think the U.S. will ever get in the rugby game like that, or no? Too much football?
No, they have been. They were in the World Cup in 2019. They did pretty good.
Did they?
Yeah.
Do we have any good players? Like, cause I would assume all of our good rugby players go play football.
No, they play rugby. There's some people that know what they're doing.
All right.
I love how Stick said, "That's your fact." That's a great fact.
It is a fact. Well, I want the 2 teams that have never finished last for the rugby tournament for the six countries.
Didn't we have a song for Fish too? We were gonna do it.
There's a fish in this house.
There's a fish in this house. There's a fish in this house.
You got a bet for today?
I do. They call it the wooden spoon if you get last place.
Ooh, no one wants that. My grandma used to smack my knuckles with that and go, Lego! That's what she'd say. Did you ever get smacked with a wooden spoon, anybody?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that shit hurts right on the knuckles. Ooh.
So we go into the Super Bowl bets. We'll be doing a few every single day.
Okay.
So what happens. There are some ridiculous bets out here. There's like 10 of them on Joe Biden. We're going to skip those for now. But you guys are big Dogecoin fans?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it. I heard doggy coin
it's
too.
dog.
It's doggy.
Is it?
Well, they have a bet on that. You can bet whether it's over or under 3.5 cents before kickoff.
Oh, wow.
Over.
So you could buy stocks on stocks betting on stocks.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Use that promo code Woodward.
I'm going to go over on that one.
You can bet, let's see, who will tweet more in a game.
Ooh.
Brittany Matthews, Giselle Bundchen, or Bridget Moynihan.
So that's Mahomes' girl.
Moynihan.
That's Brady's wife.
And Brady's baby mama.
Okay.
You love that about Tom Brady.
Right.
Got my supermodel wife and my super actress baby mama on the side.
I'm gonna go with Mahomes' girl.
Oh,
I feel like Mahomes' girl. She's always tweeting and all over there.
Dude, imagine if Stafford does make the Super Bowl. What Kelly Stafford insight she's gonna give us. Like that would be amazing content.
Yeah.
You can bet if Bruce Arians and Tom Brady are going to retire. They're separate bets.
Oh,
but-
so you can bet that,
But
Joey.
you can bet if Tom Brady's going to retire and if Bruce Arians is going to retire.
Ooh,
I don't know
can't-
about the Bruce one.
I can't see either of them, honestly.
You don't see the Brady happening?
Not at all, man.
I'm with
Really?
you. I'm with you, Joey.
It's plus 300 if you say yes, and it has in brackets before September of 21.
Okay, I like it. And Mitch is saying in the comments, Art, it is dog coin, so check yourself.
It is dog coin?
Yeah,
Sorry, Mitch.
You dropped the E.
I'm just trying to make you proud.
Oh, boy. This is a good bet I found here. Which will take longer, the Super Bowl national anthem or the Jake Paul versus Ben Anscombe fight?
Ooh,
I like that.
So we're looking at
bet.
2 minutes? That's what they're going. 2:03 is what they're
I
predicting
think
for
the national anthem's going to last longer.
Really?
Yeah, it's plus 250 on the anthem, minus 500 on the fight.
All right.
Damn.
Well, thank you very much, Fish, for your Fish's facts of the day and Fish's bets. It is now time to move on over to Joey with Joey's Dumbass of the Day.
Hey, good morning on the Dumbass of the Day. Today we go to 25-year-old Juliana Carlos and her husband ejected from the Atlanta Hawks court yesterday where the Lakers versus the Hawks. There was a verbal exchange between guess which player on the court. But for the LeBron James. LeBron James. Play that video. This is, of course, Juliana taking it to Instagram after she gets kicked out.
Just got kicked out of the game for talking shit to LeBron James, for talking shit to my fucking husband. This is such fucking bullshit. Listen, let me tell you. LeBron James looked at my husband during the game and cussed him out, and I stood up and I go, don't fucking talk to my husband. Talk to my husband one more time and I will fuck you up. And he started fighting with me. He goes, shut your mouth, dumb bitch. And I go, you shut your fucking mouth, bitch.
Ooh, you heard her. Do not mess with Juliana. I love, though, that this girl is a straight-up sugar baby. That dude is like twice her age. Nothing wrong with it, but I'm just saying. So then, LeBron, the post game. This is what I was waiting for because I had some money on this game with my bookie. I ended up losing. Freaking pissed that LeBron was the reason that I had to lose this. In the fourth quarter, too, I was ahead going into the fourth quarter. But this is what LeBron had to say post game.
No, at the end of the day, that's I'm happy fans are back in the building. I miss that interaction. I need that interaction. We as players need that interaction. I don't feel like it was warranted to be kicked out. There was a back and forth between two grown men, and which we said our piece. He said his piece. I said my piece, and then when someone else jumped into it and said their piece. But I didn't think they were, should have been kicked out. But they might have had a couple of drinks maybe, and they could have probably kept it going, and the game wouldn't have been about the game no more. So I think the referees did what they had to do. And it's fine. I don't think, taking down the mask or whatever the case may be at that point in time, would have harmed anybody but the people that was right next to her. I wasn't close enough to her. I don't think any of my teammates was close enough to them. Maybe a couple of refs, maybe. So I hope they're okay. But safety first.
I love and I hate all of that.
Yeah.
I love it.
He started out like, I wish she didn't get kicked out and all that. She didn't deserve that. But then he ended up like, come on.
What I love about it, though, is it shows you a little bit of the insight behind the players and how they really did miss fans. Even belligerent drunk bitches in the front row, they miss them. They miss them. And, that's one of the best parts to me about professional basketball is that relationship that they have with the fans. Football, you're 20, 30 yards away. Hockey, there's, glass between you, but you're right on the ice. Basketball, they literally run into you all the time.
Eat your fries in the stands, all that.
Fries,
I love
they
it.
drink your beer. But that's just awesome, and it shows that fans are sorely missed in sports.
Yeah, they're missed. I mean, the game is not the same without them, but she's definitely the dumbass of the day.
Yes.
Come on, just the fact that you're able to be at a game right now when other people cannot, just chill the F out and enjoy the moment. Leave LeBron alone.
But how legendary. There's nobody in the whole stadium, and you're the one picking a fight with LeBron James. That's
Dude,
amazing.
like, they stopped the game for this. It was great.
So that was Joey's Dumbass of the Day. We want to thank everybody for waking up with the Morning Woodward show this morning. We'll be back on tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. talking more Lions, more Super Bowl, more Let Them Play. We're going to try to get Juwan Howard on the line tomorrow to see if he can give us some insight into what prompted him to get out his message. So thank you to everybody who woke up with us this morning. Thank you to everybody who shared this on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitter. And everybody that knew that we brought to the show this morning, too. Thank you. And everybody old that's been here, that supported us from the beginning. I mean, we love you.
There's a private press conference going on right now that I'm about to hop on, so we're going to know more about high school sports in the future with the Let Them Play conference that's being held in literally a minute, so we got to go.
Thank you, guys.